How do I respond when my boyfriend claims he has taste for women with big boobs, big ass, and I like these? I mean, just straight to the point, I think you should leave this guy because he's not going to appreciate you. He's going to talk you down. He's going to talk to you like you're lacking something, and you're not. So if he really knows that's what he wants, then he should go out there and get it. Is it okay to set boundaries for in-laws? And now, I want to say this. Don't enter a marriage believing that your in-laws are your enemies. Your in-laws do not have to be your enemies, because sometimes people come in, they've heard a lot of stories about in-laws and they're on their guard. They get into a marriage and right there are boundaries. Don't do that. In-laws can be loving, they can be good. But when an in-law starts to overstep their welcome or their invitations, when they're intrusive, they come without calling, they stay without telling you how long, and they make all sorts of demands, then at that point you can start putting boundaries. And always let the child or the relation of the in-law set the boundaries for them. As a wife, don't go to your husband's parents or siblings and tell them you can't do this or you can't do that. No, you get your husband to tell his people what you need said. The same way he tells you to tell your people what he needs said. This is really important. This is from a guy. He says, I put a password on my phone after I realized that my wife goes secretly through my chat at night. Even when I have nothing to hide, I'm constantly on scrutiny. I really don't advise that you do this. I mean, if you're not doing anything and she's checking, let her check. Because at some point in time, her checking is an attempt to build trust. I don't know what's happened in the past that's causing her to be checking, but it's okay. Allowing your wife to see and check will build the trust that she needs in you. So by you putting the password, you're delaying that process from happening, and only God knows what else that you're delaying from happening. So please take off your password, let her look, and sooner or later, she's gonna find out that actually there's nothing. Then she'll stop and then she'll trust you. We are not able to have children, and it's affecting our relationship. Anytime there's a problem with having children, it's never one person's fault. Irrespective of what the doctor is saying, it still takes two people working together to have children. So never start to play the blame game where one person is blaming the other person. Also, in cases where the children don't come on time, be intentional about being loyal and supportive to your spouse, because it's a time where everybody needs support. Everybody needs to know that the person with me is with me in this journey and is with me through this struggle. So if you're in a situation where the children haven't come yet, be very supportive of each other, be very supportive. And when time comes to do your tests and everything, especially the men, go do your tests, do the follow-up tests, and do everything that's needed to just make sure that these babies come. Because many times men will blame the women for not having babies, then they won't make themselves available to do the tests and do everything else that they need to do to help make this thing happen. So be very supportive, play your part, and pray. God listens to prayers. God answers prayers. What will I do when all the neighbors are falling in love with my husband? I mean, my problem is your husband falling in love with them too? But for sure, it's possible that your husband is so cool and he's so nice and all the neighbors are falling in love with him. But he shouldn't make himself so available. He shouldn't make himself so approachable. Yes, he shouldn't make himself so accessible, and he should have boundaries. That's so important. Keep them where they are. You can't control how people feel about you or your husband. But then, obviously, you can control what you do with those people. So make sure that he has boundaries. They don't come to the house when you're not there. They don't call him unnecessarily. They just have the boundaries there, and it's okay. What does it mean when the man you report your husband to stops picking your calls after knowing we are newly married? So this person that you're reporting your husband to, he stopped taking your call even though you're newly married. There could be many reasons why he stopped taking your call, but one obvious reason is that he's tired of those complaints. You don't know whether you are over-reporting your husband to him, or maybe you're not responding to the advice he's giving, or he's not seeing results from his advice that he's giving. But obviously at this point, if he's not taking your calls, it seems like your calls to him have been incessant and he's gotten tired of taking those calls. I believe one thing is that you find a person who is actually qualified to advise and counsel you and get proper counseling. Because whoever this person is, that's not his job. He's not really trained to do it. And obviously right now he's tired of doing it. But if you meet a counselor, a professional, this person is trained to counsel you, to give you good advice and to get your relationship moving forward. So that's my advice. Give me a DM. Let's see what we can do.